today we're going to talk about the ladies that TB Joshua sexually assaulted, both white and black ladies, for his ritual purposes. So you will watch and see for yourself what they passed through.
When this happened, I thought he would come and see the site straight away. He didn't even go. He just stayed in his office. And I was just like, why is he not coming to see this tragedy?
That same day, he still met one of those ladies. The same way it has always been.
Over the years, the abuse, the rape was just too much. People tried to speak up to expose him, but nobody would listen. Had people listened, no one would have died.
I had a tap when I was in bed asleep. Daddy's calling you. And my heart sank. I walked up the stairs and I remember thinking, no. He ushered for me to take all my clothes off. And he was angry and it was forceful. The most horrendous, terrifying experience I have ever been through. I remember walking down the stairs crying. I thought, I have to talk to somebody. And I said to one female disciple, from a human point of view, the relationship I have with Daddy is wrong. And she immediately bent forward and buried her head in her hands and said, I know what you're talking about. He does it to me too. And I was, oh my goodness. And I remembered all those young girls going up and down stairs. Suddenly, I was like, whoa, he's not a holy man. The way he hits people, the way he shouts at people, the way we don't have any sleep, the reporting. I was petrified because at this point I knew exactly what I was a part of. I realised I've got to escape.
There is no fence to sit on, there's no in-between. You're in or you're out, and that was partly why it was such a huge, big deal to escape.
You have to make a choice. There is no neutral kingdom.
If you left, you were leaving salvation. You were going to die and go to hell. And you really believed this. This was terrifying.
Fear was physical. I was shaking. If I could have, I would have ran through that airport. I was doing the unthinkable. I was doing a sin. I saw the green fields of the UK. I thought, I've done it. I can't believe this has happened. I had to tell TB Joshua I wasn't coming back, because if I didn't, they would come after me. I said, Daddy, I believe the relationship I have with you is wrong, and I'm never coming back. And for those few seconds before I put the phone down, I heard panic in his voice.
I received a phone call. I was asked if I knew anything about Annika leaving, and I said, no, I didn't. TB Joshua said she left because she says that I was lying on top of her. It just made me think, oh my gosh, I didn't think that that was happening to her. He had said that sort of thing only happens to me. TB Joshua started crying and saying, you know, I've said whatever I do to you is just for your salvation. I've not done this to anybody else. Whatever Annika is saying is not true. The next thing I know, I'm called in and some disciples' parents are there. And he said, you need to tell them that what she is saying isn't true. I remember that meeting because I had to lie, yet knowing what happened to me.
It's just horrible how you go through so much pain and then you cover for the person that is causing this.
I was very good at looking happy, but I was dead for a long time inside. I decided I'm out. I can't take this at all. When I left, I went back to confront him, because I wanted the abuse to stop.
Let me come here and I want to see the shop.
I was filming this on my phone in case something bad happened. We'd obviously seen the security manhandle people before.
Let me get out. Let me get out. Don't hold me. Why can't he come here? What? Is it so holy? He cannot come here. Will you have sex with me? Let me come here.
There was just a panic out of nowhere that just grew in the office. TB Joshua didn't see it coming. He didn't expect Angie, of all people, to confront him. So that day felt like his whole life was coming to an end. Everything that he had worked hard for was coming to an end.
And the taxi driver said, okay, look, I can't drive fast. They're going to shoot my tires out.
I'd seen police on the gates beat people, beat disciples, beat followers. They weren't working for the Nigerian state. They were working for TB Joshua, who paid them huge sums of money.
2 security guards there held me, but I just wrestled my way free. There happened to be an Okada that came past, and I just hopped on, and we just said, go to the airport. You're in and out of traffic, right side of the road, wrong side of the road. To just get on that plane. When we left, we wrote a letter that we sent to the church, itemizing the serious abuses that people were having to endure just being a disciple. The church knew. They didn't investigate. They did absolutely nothing.
When I left, I told this police officer everything. And she said, because this happened in another country, all we can do is take your story, give it to Interpol.
I was there almost 14 years of my life. All these beatings, sexual abuse, it was too much. I was traumatized because what I witnessed, I couldn't live with it.
All true believers need to be aware of the man TB Joshua.
It was a concentration camp. People were being tortured, suffering and smiling.
After Bisola left, TB Joshua said she was being a betrayer against the ministry, saying lots of lies. He spoke about that usually he lets God speak for him, but this time he has to defend himself.
I was called to go and run a voiceover. I was given a script to read targeting Bisola Johnson. She was a liar. We have to make her look like a complete nutcase. We have to discredit her. He'd clearly taken footage of times she had been forced to confess things.
What is the problem you have with your brain?
I always have a terrible headache, and anytime it happens, I always misbehave. I always behave irrationally.
Is this the behavior of somebody in their right mind? Is this the kind of person who we should believe?
Bisola was disgraced and humiliated. Paul Agomo, yeah, he did the same thing.
Would you put your trust in a man like this?
This thing went all over YouTube. It's still there today. It was sent all around the world. That was a warning to everybody. It was all about silencing opposition.
When Sister and the Prophet Agomo, when they left, TB Joshua came to the mountain, said they are now rebel against us. TB Joshua said I should curse them. Sister Bisola picture, Agomo picture, inside it inside that tree. It's for them to die. He didn't tell us the meaning. Either it's God or it's juju.
Life was turning around against me.
I'm not a Muslim, but I have to put on hijab in order to cover my identity. TB Joshua continues sending different people to threaten my life.
I ran from Lagos to Abuja, from Abuja to Cotonou, from Cotonou to Ghana.
This is terrible.
Everywhere I turn to.
It's difficult for me to put my hands on the number of people that lost their lives. He has a lot of blood in his hands. The death of people doesn't mean anything to him.
Today marks exactly a year since the church guest house collapsed. 116 people, including 85 South Africans, were killed.
TB Joshua had claimed his building was destroyed by a terror strike, but the coroner has ruled the building wasn't built properly.
Families suffered a huge injustice because it came out later that actually floors were added without permission, so it was obviously a structural error.
The coroner found that TB Joshua must be criminally liable for whatever happened there. He kept on skipping court. The whole case was postponed over and over again. It's like he's been protected by who, I don't know.
When the building collapsed, that is the first thing that when he came on, he said that a jet passed through the place at the low range four times. And one of his members were saying they should look at the left side of the building. Did not see any jet because there was an object there looking as a round object, and that was editing. They did it so as to deceive those people that their family members have died in that collapsed building. He did not even give any condolence message to those people who lost their loved one, and that the building was bombed by a jet. No, it's a lie. This man told a lie. There was no jet. He knew that the building was going to collapse. He sacrificed those people for his money, popularity, and fame. Because the people were waiting to hear from him what really happened. He came up to say that they were targeting him and that they came for him. We thank God for BBC that has gone around to investigate all these things. What is the Nigerian government doing? What is the president of Nigeria doing? Even up to now, they have not taken in action. The problems Nigeria is facing today is because of these false prophets. Because of they are built on lies, deceit, falsehood. If the church is not right, can the government be right? They want everything to be covered. They have been covering up everything till now. They are still covering. No, such places should not exist. This lady called Evelyn Joshua to be arrested. If Nigerian government cannot arrest her, let Interpol arrest this woman.
It was Sunday afternoon. TB Joshua came. It was a life service.
Viewers all over the world, let me start from Friday morning. I received a phone call that there was a jet here at the church, hovering around the building before the building collapsed. So we are going to show you the video.
9 minutes later, the strange aircraft returns. This is the moment of the incident.